Hey, what's going on, guys? WukongJS here. In this video I'd like to introduce the latest release of WukongJS chess engine, which is the JavaScript chess engine I'm currently working on. So the version 1.2 is around 1700 elo points. I was thinking it's a bit stronger. I was thinking it's about 1750, and that it is actually stronger than TSCP, but unfortunately better tests showed that that's not really that true, unfortunately. And again, like it's hard to say regarding the rating because I didn't really test it much versus other engines of average of about equal strength. It scores slightly more than 100 elo points compared to the previous version, but it scores very poorly versus TSCP because of the disaster related to pass pawn evaluation. And despite the fact that I had changed the evaluation to tapered one, well, I'll cover that a little bit later. So just to give you a very quick idea regarding the gameplay, just want to play a couple of moves to give you an idea of the playing style of a chess engine. So Zelix kind of trying to okay, it's already trying to grab the pawn on c2, so quite pretty aggressive. Okay, now, oh my god, now I just blundered. Okay, let me just cheat a little bit here, so don't really want to allow in that. Is this? Oh my god, yeah, so tactics is quite pretty nice. Okay, so what should I do here? I don't even know. I don't even know what should I do here. Yeah, is this so lost already? Yeah, probably I should. Oh man. Okay, I just resigned this game. Okay, so nothing much to show really. So this is surprisingly too strong for me at the moment already. So you know, like okay, let's I think this is it regarding the, well, I've cleaned the GUI a little bit, so now it only prints the principal variation. So I removed the button to toggle the background because it's just malforming the layout, which I didn't really like. I've fixed the responsive part of this side, so on the bigger resolution screen, on the screens with the greater resolutions, it should look like this. About, well, not the best ever view, but at very least the board is centered against the background image, so which is not that bad at all. Also, if you press Ctrl+Shift+I, which you are encouraged to do if you're just starting here, right? So if you're encouraged, I'm just wondering, yeah. So in this case, you can just see how the engine is calculated, basically. So the principal variation, score, and centipoints if the mate in whatever number of places would be shown respectively, as well as here. So it's quite pretty well. The board is blinking because I have no caching in my network. If I disable that, it would get restored. So okay, let me just start this again. Hold on a sec, something has gone horribly wrong. Oh, hold on a sec, am I playing? Yeah, it's already the live version. Hold on a sec, guys, I have no idea, like, what did I just break? So, okay, just disabling the cache to avoid blinking of the chess pieces here. Yeah, now it should be working nicely. Okay, yeah, now it's working nicely. Yeah, so we can see all the additional info. Okay, so this is how it works. But I personally, well, obviously I use this disable cache to make sure that all the updates in the JavaScript files I'm making are handled respectively. Okay, so just play a few moves before I lose completely. Just trying to break on the queen side. Okay, maybe. Oh, no, this was an unfortunate blunder. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna, yeah, I just Yeah, probably I will lose now. Yeah, made in 2. Okay, move, do, here, and yeah, checkmate. So, well, I'm not that great chess player, to be honest. So we can also use this console to make sure that we see that how the engine is calculating, basically. Well, obviously the UCI mode is still available. So if you have a look at the instructions in the project repo, we still have nice instructions. So all the versions available, by the way, can be found here, and instructions how to run this in the UCI mode, so people try things, so it kind of works, not a big deal. Well, public API, nothing new from the API perspective at the moment. And okay, so a very quick look, a very quick summary regarding the changes that were done to the evaluation. So I guess I've removed, so where's my null move running? Yeah, I've removed detecting the end game state for a null move running. Well, I could have leave that basically, but I don't know, for some reason it seems like, well, my test might be wrong, but it seems like it works a little bit better. Well, it's actually faster because one condition lasts to evaluate on the one hand. On the other hand, the zagzwangs are quite pretty rare, and if you're already in the position that is close to zagzwang, then basically you're done. So whether to use null move running or not using the null move running doesn't really, in my opinion, doesn't really change much. But now it just works a little bit. Now it just runs a little bit more nodes, so it hits slightly deeper depth in the end game. Again, it's arguable, so it really needs much more testing and more the great quality of tests compared to what I've done so far. Okay, so let's get back to the evaluation again. And well, here the evaluation is the most sensitive part, basically. So this version is using the values, the p-squared table values, opening and endgame margins, and opening and endgame material values that are kindly provided by Ronald Friedrich, the author of Chess Engines, Rovchate, and Pesto, which are really incredibly strong, like 3,000 plus chess engines. So Pesto in particular only uses material weights and this position and this p-squared tables, and it manages to be 3,000 plus elo points chess engine, believe it or not, according to CRL at very least. I've been testing that. That's incredible. That's playing incredibly strong. So these are the values from one of very early versions, and so-called Texel's tuning method is used to actually fine-tune the values presented in these tables. And probably my previous video, it probably wasn't my previous video, where it was dedicated to the explanation of the automated tuning in general and Texel's tuning method in particular, well, it is conceptually. So it's quite pretty strong on the one hand, but on the other hand, and now we basically come to the most sensitive part, well, to me personally at the very least. So, you know, like until now, every new version of Wukong is basically like kind of sharing the evaluation from somewhat a different engine. So it didn't yet have its own unique evaluation. Well, probably the very first initial version had, but that really did suck. So it wasn't really that great. And I realized that you know, like, it's very important to come up with your own kind of approach regarding the evaluation. And before this moment, so it's a little bit of a lyric story, just from this point of the video. So if you were only interested in the release itself, you can safely just stop watching this video and go test in the engine or whatever you wanted to do before. But for those interested in how I'm struggling with the development progress, so this is for you guys basically. So before this moment, I was saying like, okay, I'm too dumb to understand how the automated tuning in general and Texel tuning in particular is kind of working. And that's the reason why I don't want to implement that. Well, actually, literally, I couldn't implement that and things like that. But after the previous video and after realizing finally how it works, now I finally feel that I'm kind of capable of implementing that. It would take time and effort, but it's kind of possible at the moment. And you know what? The most strange, and at the same time, it's not even a strange thing. The most interesting thing probably is that now when I feel that I can actually implement that automated tuning within WukongJS engine, I don't really want to do that because that violates my principles regarding the development progress in general. And you know, like, I don't really want to dive into explanations why exactly I don't want to do that. I just, you know, like, I'm really getting angry and going insane absolutely when I'm even thinking about this. That's how strongly violates my principles. So for those interested, you can just ask the question in the commentaries. So probably I could have give a more detailed answer for those interested. I just don't really want to be talking about this here because it's very personal. It doesn't really matter that much regarding the development progress. But just generally, what's the problem for me personally? Just a very general overview of what's the problem for me personally regarding this automated tuning is that, you know, like, I don't even know how to explain this. It kind of takes all the fun from the development progress. So for me personally, the reason why I'm developing a chess engine, it's the process. It's not the result. I'm not looking for absolute result in strength or speed or whatever. It's a process where the goal is to improve step by step, kind of very little steps and trial and error method. That's the Code-Makekin's approach. So literally, if I go for I've realized that automated tuning violates Code-Makekin's approach so much that, you know, like, there is no more Code-Makekin in there, and you know, like, it's equal to kind of losing my own self if I go for that implementation. I don't know. Probably what I say might have sounded quite pretty weird, and you might be thinking that I'm going crazy at the moment. Well, actually, I'm not. And for me, you know, like, the most important thing is to remain my own self, basically. Yeah, and just keep being Code-Makekin, and keep this trial and error approach. And after reading that until 2014, believe it or not, according to Chess Program Wikipedia, there wasn't any automated tuning at all. Well, there were some custom attempts to do that, like in v1.2 chess engine by Miguel. I forgot the last name of Miguel. Doesn't matter. It is somewhat similar, was using the v1.2 chess engine, but you know, like, that's not the point, basically. So I really want so, you know, like, I don't know how to call it. Let's say the old school of working with the evaluation is try to add some new feature into the evaluation and then run the tests like 100 or better several hundred games, and hyperbolic time control, let's say like 1 second plus 100 millisecond increment, or even just 0 second and 100 millisecond increment for a game. It's literally enough for to answer the simple question whether the current given evaluation feature you've just added is actually does it actually make sense or not. And at the same time, it's very important to kind of fill the parameters you're working with regarding the evaluation kind of at your fingertips. It's very important because, well, let's say this schema with this tapered evaluation. Well, I don't really say that I will drop tapered evaluation. I just want to say that I'm not gonna be kind of going for this fancy approaches just because they are fancy. And probably the reason for actually creating like the previous version was like the simplified evaluation by Tomasz Michniewski. This one is the initial PST values by Ronald Frederick. So all these versions are literally for the tests. So when I would hopefully come up with my own evaluation one day, this would be the versions to compare the original evaluation that hopefully would arrive along with Wukong one day. So I really want to make I have some thoughts in mind regarding how in particular like how a bit differently I'm just gonna consider the way a bit different compared to what has been done so far, and it's very interesting to test like how better it would be performing. Generally, I'm not going to be using, well, at least at the moment, I'm not thinking about using some specific evaluation terms like pass pawns or double pawns. So the idea is to keep the material and positional square tables only, but the way of how to manage this positional square tables and how exactly to calculate the values, there I see some difference, and just really needs lots of testing, so I can't really say much at the moment. So that's kind of it. And basically, again, like, so when I'm even starting thinking about the automated tuning, you know, like the development process kind of drops instantly, and I stop feeling the flow within inside me. And when I stop feeling the flow of the development progress, everything I do just loses sense to me completely, because you know, like I really realized that I don't really care about the absolute strength. You know, like if you just want to make it stronger, you just, instead of doing all this tuning, you just find the values that are just better, or you just go and copy paste the Stockfish and NUE, and your engine would be 600 elo points stronger. I did this before, and it's fun, but you know, like it's not yours. So for me personally, automated tuning is something that is not yours. Even though you can create your own code, your own trading code, you can create your own you can create your own data set. Obviously you can do all this stuff on your own and come up with your own values, but you know, like still it's kind of, machine learning is machines learning. It's not your learning. It's not your, it's just the machine learning. So it's something that you can't claim to be like your own. And again, like for those guys who love the math, who love all this optimization algorithms, all this tuning stuff, all this machine learning stuff, well, probably with their mindset this makes perfect sense, and they feel like this sort of stuff pleases them. But for me personally, it just makes me depressed, crazy, angry, and want to drop chess programming once and forever when I'm even thinking about this. So that's the reason why I don't really want to go with that fancy kind of mainstream approach, and instead I would rather be reinventing the wheel for the rest of my life, but remaining my own self, rather than following these fancy trends, and you know, like doesn't change anything internally for me, and something that doesn't change anything internally for me doesn't make any sense at all. So I don't know if you whether you did understand a single word what I've just said or not. I'm not sure, but anyway, all these versions are now available, and again, like it would be very interesting to, if I would eventually manage to come up with somewhat a different approach, it would be really interesting to see how kind of like how different, maybe better, maybe not, but how different it would be, and from the style, from the perspective of the plain style as well. Okay, guys, so this is it from my side. I thought that the previous video was the very last in this year, but well, actually it wasn't. Like, this video was the very last in this year, and I really hope this would be the very last in this year. So again, like, I want to wish you Happy New Year one more time, and see you next year. Until that time, and take care.